All right. We are live on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Y'all miss us? I know y'all missed us. And are we freezing on YouTube? No, we're not. Okay, cool. Looked like we were freezing for a second.
Will it tell you there?
Will it tell us?
Yeah, or should I keep it open on my end?
We'd be able to see it, so.
Those of you in the YouTube world, we're just waiting on Facebook, right?
Yep.
Now, we've had some issues with Facebook in the past, and YouTube, really, so we'll see how this goes.
All right, and going live on YouTube.
On Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah. One of these is gonna be popping. All right. All right.
Cool.
Greetings, everyone. Geek Philosophy Podcast back again, wrapping up 2018, and it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about what we liked the most about 2018, which was a pretty epic year for us. Might not have been for the government, but it was for us. Before we get into 2018, there's a couple of new highlights. Kind of a slow week, but there was a couple of new highlights that we can go over.
Yeah, so we've been out of things for 2 weeks. We took a little break for the holidays. Before that, we took another little break because of snow. So we're catching up on things overall.
Mm-hmm.
But in the past 2 weeks, we've had a couple of big things happen.
Big things. First off, Kevin Feige dropping hints like he always does. Apparently, we've been wondering since the Fox buyout, because the Fox buyout isn't even in effect really until next week.
Yeah, the 1st.
January,
right?
the 1st, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been wondering how.
That's the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow.
Feels weird.
That feels like a movie. Pretty sure that's a movie.
It's a terrible one, but yeah.
That's a classic, my friend.
No.
Classic.
Yeah. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of 2012.
2012 was the horrible one.
But so we've had a couple of things on, but you were saying that so Kevin Feige, even though the deal doesn't go through until Tuesday.
Yes.
Right. So they're already talking about writing.
Yes, it looks like they're talking about writing the Fox characters into in the beginning of 2019, the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. I mean, I know my early prediction was about 5 years.
Yeah.
I think yours was much sooner. Right?
Yeah, mine was that they're going to start rolling with it basically after the credits end with Endgame.
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame.
So if we're talking the first 6 months and y'all got some stories writing, there might be a stinger at the end of Endgame.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
So
we'll see if it holds out.
We'll see. I doubt it's going to be Captain Marvel. Everything's wrapped up for that one. I feel like everything's wrapped up for Avengers Endgame too. So how much can they really do?
Oh, I mean, any sort of stinger that I thought would just be something they could shoot either in just a couple minutes or be just entirely CG.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Silver Surfer flying by the screen. I had mentioned that in a previous podcast.
Yep.
That's something they could do pretty quickly and behind the scenes, more importantly, so nobody would really know about it.
True. So look forward to that. And with Aquaman coming out the last couple of weeks around the Christmas holiday, it's been doing very well. I think it's right now standing at $710 million so far.
Yeah, so it's already made more money than Justice League has or did in its entire run. So we're a week and a half?
About a week and a half. And now a good chunk of that was China, because they opened up a week early. But they're still going strong.
Yeah, and I guess you want to talk about now or wait a little bit longer?
We can talk about it now. So both of us got to see it.
Yeah.
Not paid. Again.
Yeah.
Any sponsors that want to go ahead and start getting us reviews things, cash out that money. But no, we got to see it because, of course, we're diehard superhero fans, and I really enjoyed it. It had a steady story.
Mm-hmm.
The placing was right. James Wan did a great job directing it, which surprising because I thought I was going to get a Fast and Furious feel to this the whole time.
I'm glad we didn't get that.
We didn't get anything like that. I think it's better than any Fast and Furious story they've ever been told.
Yeah.
So, got to give it up to them for that one. The cast was amazing. Jason Momoa did his thing. Not as in depth as I like most of my main characters to be. He was kind of outshined by a couple characters.
I would say the same
about a couple actors. Yeah,
but in all honesty, the world that they had to set up. Yeah, and we're talking about, it was still a 2.5 hour, over a 2.5 hour long movie. I think just by a little.
Yes,
bit.
My daughter reminded me the whole time.
So they had a lot of stuff to set up. I think the character building is something they could do in the second movie. Once we know what Atlantis is and know, all the different details to it.
I will say I did love the chemistry between him and Mara.
Yeah,
like, the chemistry was there. You see the hate in the beginning.
Yeah,
not hate, but all right, y'all. You annoy me.
Yeah,
you annoy me. I annoy you, and then it starts kindling. So I appreciate that. The villains, King Orm, was kind of outshined. Was kind of outclassed by Black Manta. I'll give him that.
Yeah, well, because there's so my only gripe, and it's not a big one, was some of the lines and some of the humor was a little eye rolling. But in all honesty, I could look past that because it wasn't trying to take itself.
It wasn't taking it too seriously. It didn't feel like the Zack Snyder universe, but at the same time, it didn't feel like the Marvel universe, which I appreciate. Yeah. I don't need to be put to death in this movie.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways when we walked out of the movie theater. I told my wife, I was like, this felt like its own thing. It didn't feel like it was trying to be too much of something that's already existed, which I appreciate. Also, there were parts of it that felt almost like one of the chase scenes through Atlantis kind of reminded me of Tron Legacy with the neon lights. And
there's a lot of color under the sea. We didn't know about that.
Yeah,
it's not that dark. It's a lot of color. Even the Italy chase scene was impressive.
Yeah, so I almost wish that I hadn't watched the 3-minute long.
Yeah, the extended trailer.
Than that.
No, it was a 5 minute.
It was 5-minute
extended trailer.
Because we got half.
You got half the scene, but there were certain glimpses, especially with Mira, that was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So of course we're not gonna give a spoiler, any spoilers, but check out the movie. It's definitely worth the watch. A lot of people were saying it was better than Infinity War. I'm not going to say that.
No, I wouldn't say
I'm
that.
not going to say that.
I think overall, as a movie,
I think it was a great solo superhero movie.
Yeah.
Almost had like a little Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings style.
I could see that. Yeah.
Like you see that storytelling just progressing.
Right.
And it was an epic adventure. Like, all right, let's go around the world. Let's find what we need. So,
find the trident and all that. But yeah, highly recommended. And I would say that it's actually got me back on the DC hype train.
I mean, all you gotta do is follow up with Shazam. Keep it light.
Please make Shazam good. Because also, I'll tell you that I until I saw Aquaman, and we've talked about this before, I was not excited for Shazam. It's never been my character. I've never really been. Yeah,
I was like Shazam. The only thing I don't like or I can't really get over is the suit. The suit looks like he's an inflatable buff man.
I don't know. We'll see how that looks in post-production. After post-production,
he might need to take off the uniform one time just to show people like, yo, I did work out this body. Like, because it really does look like someone just pumped him up
Although
quick.
I will say, if you've seen the most recent season of The Marvelous Miss Maisel on Amazon, Zachary Levi is in that, and
he's showing it off.
Yeah, I mean he's got he's not like shirtless or anything, but I mean that dude he's pretty jacked considering it. He's not
we can't watch another property to see what he should look like in this property.
But we haven't seen that one yet. I'm just saying. I think that there's
the trailers aren't doing him justice right now.
I think that the way they've cut it looks too animated, and like I said, kind of puffed out.
But the comedy behind comedy and the quips and so forth, I think work for it because you're a kid with superpowers.
Right. So I'm all excited.
This is Tom Hanks big plus Superman combined.
Yeah. This
is exactly what it should be.
That's exactly how I explained it to my wife when I was trying to tell her, what to look forward to in the movie. I don't know. I'm into it now, and I think a good portion of that is because I know now that humor, some of the humor can work in the DC universe. It can be its own thing and still be in the same universe.
Yeah.
And also that. We took a big stumble with Justice League. It wasn't a terrible movie, but it wasn't a good one.
It didn't hit where it was supposed to hit. So, but moving on.
Yeah, so we have. Sorry, good.
About to say, then we have Disney Plus thinking about bringing some of these Netflix shows.
One can hope. Yeah. So
of course, there's some contractual obligations, like they can't show anything until 2020.
Which isn't that long.
Is not really. If you think about what they're coming in mid 2019, and they look like they already have a stack of about 25 shows.
Yeah. So I mean, they
between
have
25 shows and movies, they have like everything stacked.
Right. So contractually, they only have to tide over for 6 months, basically tide us all over, and I think that's totally doable. It sounds like, and really, I hope that the only characters that we'll see maybe come back. Would be I think there's a good reason and a good fan base for Daredevil, just because that's the most popular.
I think Daredevil,
and I think maybe Punisher as well. But no, Punisher can't come because they're going for
they're going straight PG-13. I don't think Punisher is a good sell for that one. I do think Hero for Hire is. Yeah. Don't have a Luke and Iron Fist separate show. Bring them together. This is now Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, and they could always
they got dusted and they learned from their past mistakes, and now they're going to do things right.
Right.
There's ways to do it.
They could still have Jessica Jones thrown in there for an episode too. Which, by the way, we've talked about this before. I'm a good ways through the second season now of Jessica Jones. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm
bro, that was pure garbage.
I'm enjoying it.
Pure garbage.
So we definitely differ on that.
Wait, all right, you haven't gotten to that scene yet. Trust me, once you get to that scene, everything from before is gonna look like pure garbage. I'm telling you, when it happens, you're halfway through.
Yeah.
Next episode, you're gonna hit it. You're gonna be coming back here next week, be like, yeah, it's garbage.
All right.
Let's place our bets. Let's find out. But
we'll
I could not stand. I love the first season.
Yeah.
I love the first season.
It was great.
The second season, nah. And no matter how much you talk to me into it, I'm not rewatching it.
So either way, I mean, I'm looking for it. I'm hoping that Disney takes this as an opportunity to bring in some of these properties and try and not only that. I'll go so far as to say, as much as I enjoyed all of the Netflix MCU, if I were talking to Disney right now and they said, "What's your opinion?" I'd say, "Don't bother unless you're going to put them into the proper MCU. Let Daredevil and all of them be their own thing and stay the way it is. But if you're going to write anything new and you're going to bother doing all of that, go ahead and bring Daredevil into a Spider-Man movie. Or I want to see more than that. I want to see Kingpin in a Spider-Man movie."
That's what I want to see. I mean, we apparently did see a Kingpin in this last Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But it's not MCU. I want to see. Yeah. And I want to see Vincent play.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
I want to see him play Kingpin on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Clark Duncan had the size back in the day.
Oh, he had the size.
And he was a great actor,
R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah. He was a great actor.
But Vincent D'Onofrio plays it in a psychopath way. And he's not a small guy anyway.
He's not a small guy, but he's not as big as Michael Clark Duncan.
But either
and
way,
Michael Clark Duncan really wasn't the right build. I think Vincent's the better build. If we look at,
he's just a big dude,
big, and Michael Clark Duncan was big and muscular.
Yeah,
like Kingpin hit his muscles. He's like, oh yeah, I'm fat, but I got muscles under this fat. It takes a lot of muscle to hold all this fat,
just to move them around.
Michael Clark Duncan is like, I'm just muscle.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they incorporate that, take that as an opportunity. Otherwise, I think it's a huge missed opportunity. So that's what's coming in 2019. Hopefully, to Disney Plus. I guess that's what they're calling it these days.
Yeah. I mean, again, prime opportunity you miss with the Vault. Literally, you own the copyrights and everything to that already.
Yeah.
The app could have been literally a Vault.
Yeah.
You click on it and start spinning like you're opening
the little symbol on your phone. Yeah. So either way, but we don't want to get any further into this week's news without mentioning that we're recording this live right now, just in case you're watching this in the future on Sunday. But this past Friday was, as Marvel has deemed, Excelsior Day.
Yes.
It would have been Stan Lee's 96th birthday. So they had encouraged people to go out and wear their favorite Marvel shirt. I wore this one on Friday. I'm wearing it again today since we didn't film on Friday. But yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge the contributions that he gave to not only the MCU, but the world of comics in general.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't just span in America. He had done some work in mangas in Japan, some work in India. Like, he was internationally known. It wasn't like he was just a national treasure for us, but he will be missed.
Yeah.
So
we so now that we're moving on to the rest of the things that happened this week, we did get a Hellboy trailer.
Yes.
Which I'm pretty excited about. I'm a big fan of the first two Hellboy movies, Ron Perlman and Guillermo del Toro. And this one had aesthetically looked great. I still
like visually it was appealing.
Yeah. I like the creepiness of the Del Toro movies.
Yeah, that's the only thing missing, but at the same time you kind of need to step away from Guillermo del Toro to make it be a full reboot, because if you brought him back and just did it, it wouldn't be a reboot to me.
Yeah.
So it does have a reboot feel now. It doesn't have as creepy as it was. But and there is some humor. Now, the humor didn't land with me per se.
It did with me only because I know that's kind of their thing. I mean, Hellboy has a kind of a goofy, almost maybe I'd go so far as to say like dad humor and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like Ron Perlman's delivery was a little bit more spot on. Yeah. And it might be because I've watched him in the past and I'm used to it. Like, this is still a little... He was jumpy in the beginning. Like, that was like, to me, Ron Perlman wouldn't have been jumping that much. He would have been like... Yeah. I got a whole leap. I got a whole vertical leap off of him in that first scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just trying to play it different enough to where it's not... you can't accuse it but so much of being a total copycat.
I'll give him that. I got to see more. Yeah. Hopefully the humor lands with me next time, but it wasn't there for me this time.
Yeah. So we found out, too, a bit of confusing news from Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers has their own streaming service coming out, which will kind of compete.
This is not DC Universe, because DC Universe is already out, and it is a Warner Brothers property.
Yeah. So there are going to be 3 different tiers to this Warner Brothers Netflix competitor. And basically it sounds like like the tier 1, the cheap one, is going to get you, kind of a handful of older properties. Tier 2 will get you a couple of newer shows and those older properties. And then tier 3 will get you all of the above plus original content or something like that. It's a little confusing.
If that is their strategy, they're going to lose.
Yeah. I don't see this getting far at all.
I mean, let's face it. If you look at right now, Netflix is all about their original content. So you don't have to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
You pay the base price, you get original content. Only thing that's tiered in Netflix is how many people can use it.
Right.
Amazon, which people ain't even going there for the original content much. There's a couple shows that people really like, but no one's really going there for their original content, and they're pretty much free.
Yeah.
If you separate it from Amazon Prime, it's a free thing.
A lot of people I know, I actually signed up for it originally for the convenience of 2-day shipping, and then I realized now
about 90%. I'm going to go higher. About 98% of people have Amazon Prime for shipping, not for the videos. So the videos is like icing on the cake.
Right. I
think it's the wrong move. If that's really what they're going for,
yeah.
Unless it's like dirt cheap, like the bottom tier is 99 cents, the second tier is $2.99, and the ultimate gear is like $5.99.
Oh, and I want to say, I might be wrong on this, but I want to say that commercials were a thing too with the lower tiers. So you'd be paying and you still get some commercials. I don't know. Either way,
right. I'm gonna need to know what kind of grain of weed are y'all smoking in that office, because you already have an experimental. It's not like you're completely new to this.
Right.
You have a streaming service out there that you are using. You should be able to see the data. And you're going to see the data spike up majorly after this week when Young Justice Outsiders debuts on Friday, January 4th. You're going to see signups out the window. And there is no tier program with that. So I don't know why y'all thinking about doing a tier program now. It doesn't make sense. Not that kind of tier program.
Yeah.
If that's their real plan, I feel bad for them because I don't think they're going to be able to compete.
No, I don't see this going well at all. But that kind of wraps up that, plus the review, plus our thoughts on Aquaman, kind of wraps up what we've been thinking about for the past 2 weeks. But we did want to go through our highlights for the year.
2018. What did we love the most?
Yeah.
And we're talking about our favorite moments. We're not saying these are the best over anyone. This is just what we felt, period, what we liked. For anime, we're going to not talk about that on the live podcast or on the podcast. I did do a video with my wife, Shelly-chan. That's my nickname for her. I just came up with it on the spot. But we are doing a video for that, our favorite anime moments of 2018, and we will be posting that on YouTube very soon. So if you're watching this now, you'll probably be getting it in like a couple hours or a couple days. So
yeah. So I don't know. I have my list. I think the first one
is TV series.
Yeah, TV series. So what did you think?
So for me, I gotta give it to Titans. It was a huge gamble. It was like your streaming service, DC Universe streaming service, is all betting on this show, and I think it delivered. I really enjoyed every episode. I stayed glued. And in the last episode, the ending didn't live up to the hype of the whole series.
Yeah.
But that post-credit scene made me forgive it. I forgave it as soon as I saw the post-credit scene. I'm like, oh, y'all are doing that next season. Okay, I'm in. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Titans. I feel like every other TV series out there, to me, didn't have that much to lose. So I looked at it from that standpoint.
All right. So I cheated majorly in this category, and I'm aware of that.
Let's see how bad you cheated.
Because I couldn't make up my mind. So the way I did things was I had I had 2 categories, and I had 2 shows tie for each.
Nice. So you got 4 shows.
4 shows. So the way I did this was I picked my favorite. I wanted to pick my favorite new show for this year, and pick my favorite show that's not new, that's at least
ongoing series,
at least in its second season. So for ongoing shows, I couldn't figure out, and this is again surprising because it's Amazon, both of them. But
he's the only one that will say that.
Well, you say that, but Amazon's the one winning all the awards and stuff. Netflix and everybody else hasn't won anything.
Who watches the awards?
What's all about it's all about what the awards get you.
Dude, it's a committee full of old dudes. They just start bringing on minorities and females.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people look at it like, oh, it's just an award, but at the same time, it's
I mean, it does
talk
do
to the
something.
actors who won an Oscar or something.
Yeah, that's going on the resume.
Yeah. So for continuing shows, I'm really still enjoying The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which second season just came out a month or so ago.
Okay.
And The Man in the High Castle.
Okay, I'm about to say, I know that was going to be in your top.
So those are my ongoing ones. Netflix actually, though, took both spots on my kind of tied for the new series.
Okay.
So Haunting of Hill House was a great horror series.
That was a great Halloween opener for a lot of people.
And it was awesome. I actually, it's one of the only shows that I actually went back and watched twice and really enjoyed it the second time through. Rather than the first time, you catch a lot of things. The other series that was brand new for 2018 came out way back almost a year ago on Netflix, and that's Altered Carbon. And just because that was such a crazy world to build for Netflix, really far out there, and it was a huge gamble for money too because it was a massive budget. But the idea that the human soul or mind, whatever you want to look at, is on a chipset, and you can take that out and put it into any clone or transmit yourself electronically to another planet way far out there. I really enjoyed it.
Good. So those are you got 5 shows that you just heard were our favorites. So definitely check them out. They're on different streaming service, but they're definitely binge worthy. So check those out. Next one, we're talking about favorite movie of 2018.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay, so this is another one that I had a hard time with, but I did pick a winner.
Okay.
I have a winner.
But I say you can't cheat on this one. It's either yay or nay.
I have a winner, but I do have the special recognition. I just want to say close runner-up. Okay. So, and I think this is kind of an obvious one, given that I love comic book movies and everything. How do you beat Infinity War? I mean, Infinity War was my favorite movie just because not only did it encompass almost every comic book character that we've seen on screen so far that's not in the DCU. And it was just an incredible movie. Visually, the writing was great. Everything that that I could have hoped for in a movie like that. But I do want to point out that the 2 runners-up that came really close, but I just couldn't justify it because of how massive of a movie Infinity War was. Black Panther and Aquaman.
Okay.
Those are both ones that came really close. And honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that you had so many people and it was such a spectacle to see everything in Infinity War, one of those movies probably would have taken the cake.
So for me, his special recognition is actually my top movie, and that is Black Panther. And that just for me, just spoke to me a little bit more. So just one of the
Oh, did we lose YouTube?
No, I don't think we lost.
No, we're there.
But yeah, for me, it was a great solo superhero movie, but at the same time, it gave me a deeper story. It was almost, to me, and I said it in my review, it was a love letter to a certain demographic, and I'm in that demographic as an African American. I felt like that was a love letter to me. So I appreciate that aspect. I appreciate the research, the depth that they did to make this new part. And it wasn't like something like building a whole universe, which some people might think that's harder, but I think it's a little bit harder to make a city or a nation in a world that's already established.
That's a good point. It's not, we're not talking about
like with the universe, I can just say, all right, this is how the universe rules is going. By bing, 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 bing. This is my universe. But when it's already established world and you're making a world within it, like a nation within a world, I think that's a little bit harder, and you're incorporating so many things. So that's why I gave my pick to Black Panther. I did love Infinity War, but I feel like I cheated. You had 10 years to do this. You had 10 years to make this movie.
Yeah.
It better be good.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been pretty bad if it hadn't.
It would have been bad. And this was in Kevin's mind. This is in Kevin Feige's mind from day one.
Can we start calling him Kevy?
I'm going to call him Kevy. This is in Kevin Feige's mind from day one. I want to make such a spectacle that we cross
Yeah.
over so many characters that you make it feel like it's a comic.
Yeah.
So it was a great movie. I'm just not gonna go ahead and give it that. And we have a comment from Love Lucy 87, which is my wife. Love you. She's definitely co-signing on the Titans for favorite series. So it was dark, but it was good.
So right. I think I'm realizing that we didn't put in a score or soundtrack, but I think Black Panther would easily win that.
I mean, it definitely would. Soundtrack, yeah. Because I'm trying to think of any other soundtrack out there. But if we did put a soundtrack, I think Black Panther won for me. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar did his thing, EPing that one and really putting a lot of different elements, like adding the Afro beats and so forth in there. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the research in depth of Black Panther. That's just my thing. So,
well, like you said, it's not like when we got introduced to Asgard, where it's a totally made up thing and they do whatever they want, but being able to incorporate that into an actual existing world.
Yeah.
Maybe for next go around next year, we should think about doing best classic score, best contemporary score, where you have. I don't remember much about the classic scores kind of in the background of Black Panther, but the actual artist on the soundtrack and stuff. Really stood out. You see that a lot in Guardians of the Galaxy's famous for that too.
No, they're definitely famous for that.
Yeah.
And they had a very good classical score too, actually.
Yeah.
If I think back at it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and for that, I'm gonna definitely give it to Black Panther for soundtrack.
So I think next we had favorite trailer from the year.
So I'll go first on this one because it's not what people are. I don't know. People might expect me to say this. I'm gonna give it Glass. Yeah. I'm giving it to the Glass because it was a Comic-Con release. I think it was the first one out before the sling of trailer after trailer after trailer, and it got me hyped.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a seesaw when it comes to Midnight Shyamalan, or people call him M Night. I call him Midnight. I'm a seesaw with him because he does do some good work, and he messes up, and he does good, and he messes up.
Yeah.
So he's got me excited for this, and even though I'm looking at the trailer and I can kind of figure out what the story's going to be like, I know there's a twist.
With a twist.
There's going to be a twist. So
you know it's coming.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I say that's my favorite trailer this year.
So I thought about this for a while, and the first thing that popped in my head was the trailer for A Quiet Place was really good. Yeah. But then the longer I thought about it, and it's on my list, Glass. Glass took it for me too, because I was thinking, like, my initial reaction was A Quiet Place was so interesting and different.
Yeah, but I think the whole concept of the movie is so different.
Yeah, but if I went back and I actually watched the two of them side by side, and it was enough to make me go, okay, no, Glass still takes it for me because of the hype. A Quiet Place got me intrigued.
Yep.
But Glass got me hyped for what's coming up. So what else did we have? We had just a favorite moment.
Favorite moment in all of geekdom.
All of geekdom in an entire year.
Yeah. You got one on your mind?
Yeah, so
Let me think about that. I got like 3 in my mind right now.
I thought about this for a while, and my favorite moment of 2018 overall was seeing the outpouring of respect for Stan Lee after he passed away.
That was on my list.
Literally coming from everybody, whether it's DC fans, Marvel fans, writers and directors in Hollywood, even people who aren't even in the business. Just seeing the support and the fans in weird places that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And seeing how he touched other people's lives throughout the decades that he was in business.
So I'm gonna do something different because I want to go mushy. I'm not gonna go mushy. I'm gonna go petty. And seeing the reaction of people after watching Titans, to me, was my favorite moment. Because beforehand, we were getting early pictures and so
Had a
forth.
lot of haters.
And we had so many haters
Yeah.
on this, and especially to Anne Dope. I'm probably butchering her name, but she plays Starfire. She was pretty much berated on Twitter and so forth, to the point that she just went ahead and jumped off Twitter. And then to see when the product is out and people receive that product with like open arms and be like, yo, this is a great series. To me, that was my favorite moment. Yeah. Seeing the outpour of love after they see the product and like, yo, I've seen a lot of people that were like, oh, this sucks. This is going to be garbage. They're saying, yo, this is straight fire. Yeah. So that's one of my favorite moments. I'm going to go ahead and give it that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All
right. So
next one's video game, right?
Comic-Con, actually.
Oh, no. Let's go Comic-Con. Yeah. That was, I would go favorite Comic-Con because I made predictions on New York Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That did not happen. And I was upset. So I'm going to say San Diego Comic-Con was my pick for favorite Comic-Con. And I have to say the Aquaman trailer was my favorite moment in the San Diego Comic-Con.
The big extended one?
The extended one, because I'm taking out Glass, the You Already Won trailer. I'm not going to give you best moment there too. But seeing Aquaman, actually the trailer looking looking great, and then that shutting up haters. Because I'm still confused, DC, how you can take a character that has been made a joke of for decades. We've been making fun of Aquaman since the 70s.
Yeah.
And you made him a complete badass.
Because nobody wants to joke in front of Jason Momoa. You want to make fun of Jason Momoa in front of him, you go right ahead. I don't know if you want to do that.
So that was my favorite Comic-Con. My favorite Comic-Con moment is Aquaman shutting up. Like, just shutting it down.
So my favorite Comic-Con moment of this year is anytime Ezra Miller shows up and all of the ridiculous, awesome outfits that guy wears.
He takes cosplay to another level.
Yeah, a whole other level. And then when he shows up to these things, before he even gets into cosplay, his outfits are so insanely weird.
He treats it like the red carpet of weirdness.
Really does. And then he gets in there and he's not afraid to, even more so than some of the other people, he's not afraid to just walk out onto the floor with all the fans dressed up as his favorite
honestly,
characters.
I think he's the only person who genuinely looks like he's having fun.
Oh yeah,
like genuinely because looking like he's having fun.
He's going through hours and hours of stuff. Just to try and publicize the movies that he's in, whether it's the Fantastic Beasts side of things or the DC movies, the Flash.
Or explain to people why Flash is still on hiatus.
Right. So I don't know. He does it
with a smile.
Yeah. He just seems like a cool dude, somebody you can talk to, and you never know what sort of insane outfit he's going to wear, whether it's dressing up as a character or just being his crazy flamboyant self. So that's probably the one thing, because when I thought about that, I was like, out of all the stuff, I kept going back to all the ridiculous things that he wore because it kept popping up in my newsfeed. So that's my pick for Comic-Con. So next we have video game. I'll let you roll with that.
So I'm going to steal your video game.
Yeah,
I'm going to say Spider-Man, PS4.
Have you played it?
I haven't even played it.
Really?
I'm just looking at people play it. It looks fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to borrow his version when he's done. But no, I have to give it to Spider-Man. I think that's the video game of 2018. I know we had the Video Game Awards. God of War won.
Yeah.
Props out to God of War. But if I look to my style of how I like to play video games, and story, I gotta give it to Spider-Man.
Yeah. So
I think it. Not to cut you off, but it also adds, because now it's going to create another universe of just MCU games.
Right. That's what I want to see. I want to see like an X-Men game in this same world, or a Fantastic Four. Well, maybe they could incorporate Fantastic Four into the X-Men game or something. I don't know if they'd be able to hold up on their own game, but I don't know. Or they could have some sort of compelling story that would be able to get the Fantastic Four in. But Iron Man too would be pretty awesome.
There's so
Be able
many
to jump
things like you
around.
can really do, and I
Mhm.
think Spider-Man opens that world up. So that's why I'm giving it to Spider-Man.
Yeah. So something crazy is about to happen. The Xbox fanboy
Tell it.
is jumping to the other side,
Tell the truth.
and he's picking God of War. So and here's the other thing too is my top two are Spider-Man and God of War. Now that's not saying
that's not just to all the Xbox players out there.
No, and I should know too. I still don't have a Nintendo Switch. There's a very solid chance that
that
one
is
of the Switch
like
games,
honestly, if I had a Switch, this might be a different conversation.
Yeah, it
Smash
totally
might have won.
But Xbox hasn't had any compelling games this year. And I looked too, because all the games that I've really enjoyed on my Xbox this year have been ones that came through Games with Gold that were 2 or 3 years old that I got for free. So it wouldn't have been necessarily my favorite game, but the ones that I really liked weren't in 2018. They're too old. But I played 100, almost 100% of the vanilla version of Spider-Man. So I still haven't touched the DLC yet. But it's the only reason why Spider-Man didn't take the spot. And so I've completed Spider-Man. I'm about halfway through God of War. But just this storytelling and the art of it, the depth of everything. There's spots in God of War where you're playing through it and you think like, oh, I really want to go there, but I can't get there. And then the story just naturally brings you back to that spot again when you have the power to get to that spot. So it's not, it keeps opening up bigger and bigger realms. I'm also a sucker for Norse mythology. I know a fairly good chunk of all that. So it's kind of fun seeing all of the secrets and stuff they've hidden throughout the world. But really, it's just the gaps in Spider-Man in between the main storyline. They weren't bad because the gameplay was still great, but from a story standpoint, there were some lulls in between there. But God of War is just nonstop from the time I started playing. So yeah, God of War, and I know this is the popular pick, everybody else, but still, I couldn't justify any other game over that actually has come out in 2018.
Nice.
So no spoilers because I still haven't finished it, but I'm working on it now. Now our last category is highlights.
So this is something that we mentioned during this because we always go over highlights. What was our favorite highlight to announce to the public? I'm gonna cheat and go first.
Yeah.
The Fox Disney deal is my favorite highlight.
Yeah.
Even though I was against it.
Yeah.
It was my favorite highlight to share because we've all of us wanted this to some degree. I didn't want the whole company.
Yeah.
But we got all the intellectual properties now, so I'm like, I'm cool with it. I want to see that universe. I want to see the MCU expand, even though that makes Disney just that much bigger of a studio and just makes them a threat. They're a monopoly.
Yeah,
they're pretty much close to it. They just one more studio and they're done. They're a monopoly.
But until they start, besides maybe jacking up the cost of a DVD an extra buck or two, until they start doing something more.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a DVD, but.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that because the Disney movies cost a little bit more than all the other movies.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it actually becomes a problem. Now, my favorite highlight was one that we had to wait for a really long time to talk about because we didn't want to spoil it for anybody, and that is starting with the line you should have aimed for the head. Yeah, like that to me was kind of the biggest highlight because that was the point where. When that happened in Infinity War, a lot of people were thinking the whole way up, like, no, they wouldn't do that. That's too dark.
Yeah.
This is a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And I remember just that when he delivered that line and the snap happened, just hearing like the gasp from the audience and everything as all of their favorite comic book characters just turned to dust.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest highlight, I think. Yeah. So we've rolled through all that pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, in true fashion, as always, let's get into our random battles.
Yeah.
So this week, Clay will be arguing for Wonder Woman, which is the Gal Gadot version.
Yep.
And I will be arguing for Poison Ivy, I think the comic book version.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Gal Gadot's version of Wonder Woman isn't as strong as, the comic book version. So we've seen that. Yet.
She's only got like one solo movie
She's got
under her belt.
she's got like one movie. No, she's got 2 movies. Justice League is her movie. Let's just go ahead and say that. She's got 2 movies and a scene.
Yeah.
And Batman versus Superman.
Right.
In all those, she's just not as strong as the version that we've seen in the comics. So I think I got a chance. And let's face it, the comic book version of Poison Ivy, she's deadly.
It's pretty over the top. Yeah.
It is over the top. I mean, I control all plants. Like, she's not like the movie version where, oh yeah, I gotta mutate these plants. She's literally going around just like, oh, all plants talk to me.
Yeah. So I'm actually when we drew these names, it actually got me wanting to see an on-screen, over-the-top, powerful Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
In the DC, worlds of DC. I keep saying DC Universe or DCU. So forgive me for not being proper, but yeah, I don't know, man. It just depends. I feel like I kept coming back to Poison Ivy being able to control all the plants, but Wonder Woman just hacking away at them and just taking them down. As powerful as she is, and I think
the bracelets definitely give you a 1-up.
Yeah. I don't know. So what would be the what do you think you could throw at Wonder Woman to be the death blow for that? Because again, we should remind everybody this is no morals, taken completely out of context.
The way Poison Ivy is, she is a not a up close fighter. She's a strangle you type of person, and then get up close for like the killing blow, which normally her poisonous kiss. I don't see that working on Wonder Woman. I'm gonna concede that part. I don't think that's going to work on Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't know that prior to.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a killing move. Like, I can see her getting strangled, her strangling her, so getting close.
What you say?
And then a sword just bops out of those vines, and bam.
It would be a long fight, and Wonder Woman would get beat up pretty bad.
I don't think she'd get beat up pretty bad. This would be an endurance. This would definitely be an endurance battle.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie version when it comes to endurance.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see her fight an army in the movie version me to say, can she keep the endurance?
Yeah, because we've seen her fight Ares, and we've seen her fight
it's always
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, it's always been 1-on-1 fights. It's Steppenwolf's case, like 7-on-1. But I haven't seen the endurance part where she fought army. You've seen clips of the World War I, where she's just constantly going. But I don't consider that endurance because I'm pretty sure she's getting breaks in between there.
Yeah.
So, but I do think battle prowess, I think she's going to come out on top still. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, Wonder Woman probably is going to be Poison Ivy.
So we'll put a check in my column this go around.
Yep.
Now, I guess we should draw for next week before we forget.
Yep. And next week we'll be into 2019. And of course, 2019, we might have a little review on the first episode of Young Justice, Outsiders. And I'll make sure Clay watches it before we get into it so he can see the glory of Young Justice.
Yeah. And at some point, I'll try and binge all of Titans. All right. Okay, this is gonna be a good one for you because you'll be arguing for Vegeta.
Vegeta, all right. This is gonna be hard for you because you'll be arguing for Natsu from Fairy Tail. Oh, I need to catch him up on some anime.
So tune in next week to see Clay talk about things he has no idea.
He's pretty good with the Deku fight.
Yeah.
We just need to show you some highlight reels and
Wikipedia.
Okay, like this dude controls fire. That's pretty much
okay.
one way for you to do this.
Yeah.
My wife loves that character. She can give you some pointers.
All right.
All right. But that's our time. Geek Philosophy Podcast. Thanks as always. It's been a great 2018. We thank all of you for joining us and joining us on this journey. As this is our first year, we did half a year doing this.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be back next year. Till then, Geek Philosophy, Geek Way of Thinking. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.
Bye.